My marriage happened just 3 months back, and I'm still boiling with rage over what went down. Actually, forget that. I've been harboring this fury for way longer than a mere 3 months. But that ceremony was the exact point where I chose to quit tolerating it all and begin plotting with precision. A bit of context first, since it sets the stage. I'm Curtis, 28 years old, and I was raised as the family's black sheep. My siblings, Roger and Juan, are both physicians. Roger's a heart specialist. Juan specializes in children's health, and both rake in serious cash while residing in homes that my folks boast about to every ear that listens. Me, I quit community college after just 1 year because it made me miserable, and I jumped into construction roles, storage facility shifts, anything that covered expenses. None of those spots held me longer than a handful of months, as I was hunting for something precise. But to my parents, I was nothing but a drifter who couldn't stick with employment. The reality is my mom and dad, Ellis and Nora, have always been fixated on prestige. Utterly fixated. They emerged from poverty and scraped into the middle class, craving their offspring to affirm that ascent. 2 medical pros, ideal. 1 kid in heavy boots, returning home grimy, total disaster. They've been drilling into me that I was useless since I hit 16. Ellis even launched a savings stash he dubbed the prison reserve, convinced I'd wind up behind bars. He spilled that during a heated clash when I was 17, claimed he was just facing facts about my destiny. I crashed in their cellar until age 25, not from inability to split, but because I hoarded every cent I earned. They billed me for lodging, which was whatever, but they also hammered home daily that I was a drag. Nora would present me to her pals as her boy who's still sorting himself out. Ellis would stack me against my siblings at each meal gathering. You get what years of that grind does to someone? It doesn't shatter you, it turns you sharp. Then I crossed paths with Brooklyn. She's an educator, whip smart, cuts through nonsense, and somehow she gazed at me and spotted what my kin never bothered to notice. We courted for 2 years, and I popped the question last year. My parents scarcely faked joy over it. Nora straight up queried Brooklyn if she was certain about this, right to her face at the engagement meal. Brooklyn clasped my hand beneath the table and assured her she'd never felt more certain of a choice. So we orchestrated this event. Not extravagant, around 80 attendees at a resort spot that Brooklyn's folks, Elaine and Roger, chipped in for since they're genuinely kind souls. My parents pitched in zilch and griped nonstop. All through the prep, I was juggling another project, but more on that shortly. The big day arrives, and it's smooth sailing until the after-party. We shared our inaugural sway, sliced the dessert. Brooklyn's father delivered this heartfelt speech about folding me into their clan. Then my father rises with a flute of bubbly, and I should have sensed trouble right there, but I was clinging to hope. Ellis launches into how stunned they were when I announced my nuptials. He mentioned they'd braced for alternate scenarios for ages, brought up the prison reserve once more like it was comedy gold, and quipped they'd never figured on needing funds for a ceremony. Folks chuckled awkwardly, unsure if he meant it. Nora rose beside him and chimed in, gushing about how I'm their unique boy, the one who never nailed down his calling, unlike my siblings who both became. I can't tell you the full story in short. To watch the full story, click the related link below.